student. Welcome to maths class. Today we'll do data handling and presentation. Our learning objective in this chapters are collecting and organizing data, bar graph, artistic and aesthetic consideration, pictograph, drawing bar graph and infographics. So all these things we'll learn in this chapter. Start with the introduction. Statistics is a science which give us information about the collection, classification and interpretation of fact. Statistics is a branch of mathematics under which we read about the collecting information, classification and interpretation. For example, Anup visit 30 families of the locality to collect information about the families with less than 5 members, with 5 members, with more than 5 members. Collecting this information, he then summarized the information collected as shown below. So, Anup has collected information from 30 family. Which family have more than 5 members, which have less than 5 members. He has collected all the data and arranged like this. With less than 5 members, there are 12 family. With 5 members, there are 8 family which have exactly 5 members. And 10 family which have more than 5 members. The set of numerical facts collected as shown on the above in order to reveal useful information, that is called data. Next is collection and organizing data. The initial step of any investigation is the collection of data. It may be the collection of numbers, figures, facts or symbols. The information needed or the data collected must be relevant to need. Information in the form of numerical figure is called the data. So, for anything we want to study, first we have to collect the data. The initial step is the collecting data regarding that topic. And if it is a numerical figure, that is called data. The literal meaning of data is the known fact or the fact collected to draw some inference. So, to get some information, what we have to do? We have to collect the data. Then we can study the data and reach any conclusion. There are two types of data, primary data and secondary data. First is primary data. So, what is primary data? The data collected directly from the source. So, the information if we collect directly from the source, that is called primary data. For example, the data collected by Mr. Gupta is primary data. What is secondary data? When the data is collected from the external source, like from newspaper, from mobile phone, from TV, that is called the secondary data. For example, the data collected from the newspaper, magazine and internet, that is the secondary data. Next is use of data collection. Now, once we have collected data, but what is the use of that data? In order to use data, we need to collect the data and organize it. To find out information from that data, we have to organize that data and record it so that whenever we want to use the information, we can refer to that. For example, attendance record maintained by the teacher. So, you know, in schools, the teacher maintain all the attendance record, so that whenever you want to find out information regarding that, you can take out from that data. Sale record maintained by the shopkeeper, weather record maintained by meteorologist. Next is organization of data. So, this is very important step. Whenever we collect some data, to get some information, first we have to organize the data. Organization of data help in bringing about the meaningful conclusion from the data. For example, the group of students of class 6 took part in a music competition. The judges gave the following grades. So, here the grades are given. Now, does it make any sense to you? No. This is a way to represent the data but give very little meaning. To make the data meaningful, what we have to do? We have to arrange the data in the tabular form. So, if we arrange the data like this, here we have taken the name of student and the grades. So, Anup got 2, Mayank got 4, Neha got 5, Pooja got 1, Ahana got 3, Mayank got 2, Rekha got 2 and Amit got 2 and Mukesh got 5. Now, very easy to understand and reach any conclusion by looking at this data. Hence, understanding and analyzing data become easier by means of tables or pictures. Suppose the mark of the test of 15 children of the class are as follow. So, these marks are out of 25. Now, the data has been collected, but this form of data is called the raw data. So, what we have to do? We have to organize the data. So, for that we will arranging the data in ascending or in descending order, that is called the array. When we arrange the given data in ascending or descending order, that is called array. The arrangement of the data in the systematic form, usually in the table or tabular form, is called the tabulation. All the numerical figure in the data, that is called observation. So, all the numerical value, that is known as observation. Next is frequency. What is frequency? Let us consider an example. The coach of the cricket team wants to know the runs scored by the player of both the teams in the previous match. He records each player's run as given below. So, he has collected the data. This way of recording the data does not help him to answer the following question. What is the most runs scored? How many players made the half century? How many players scored 75 runs or more? What is the difference between the most and least run scored? So, by looking at these data, he cannot answer all these questions. So, what do we have to do? We have to arrange the data. Now, we write the above data in ascending or descending order. This is the better way of writing the collected data, but it is time consuming. And there is always a possibility of missing some numbers, because sometimes the data is very big. So, sometimes we can miss some numbers. It may be helpful to answering the question A and D, but it might be find difficult to answer the question B and C. When the number of observation is larger, we use tally marks to minimize the number of error and make tabulation easier. Tally marks are always recorded in the bunches of 5. The fifth tally marks is drawn diagonally across the first 4. Make the group of 5. For example, this is for 1, this is for 2, 3 standing line for 3, this is for 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is for 5. And 5 and 4 standing line, that makes 9. So, in this example, write the runs scored in the first column. In the second column, represent the total number of players who scored those many runs using the tally marks. So, now we will arrange this data in tally mark table. So, these are the run and tally marks and number of players. How many players scored 20 runs? So, there are 5 players who have scored 20 runs. 2 players have scored 25 runs, 2 players have scored 35 runs, 3 players have scored 38 runs, 3 players again scored 40 runs, 1 player scored 47, and 2 players scored 50 runs. So, we have arranged the data in tally table here. 75, 2 players have scored 75 runs, 2 have scored 86, 1 have scored 92, 98, and 1 have scored 102. After counting tally marks, the actual number can be written in the third column which represent the frequency. Now, looking at the table, we can easily answer the question B and C. So, if we arrange the data like this in tally table, it would be easy for us to answer the questions. Now, we will take some example here. Example 1. Following is the choices of suite 30 student of class 6. So, these are the suite choices of 30 student of class 6. Now, arrange the suites in a frequency table using the tally marks. Which suite is preferred by most of the student? So, what we will do? First, we will make a tally table. So, the sweets there are laddu, barfi, jalebi and rasgulla. So, how many students like laddu? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So, we have made 11 tally marks and number of student, that would be 11. 3, 7 and 5 for 9. Total student 30. 11 plus 3 plus 7 plus 9. So now we can easily answer which is the most preferred sweet. Laddu is the most preferred sweet by the students. Next, we'll take one more example. Catherine threw the dice 40 times and noted the number appearing each time as shown below. So we have to make a tally table for that. Make a table to enter the data using the tally marks and find the number appeared, the minimum numbers of time, the maximum number of time, and find those numbers that appear an equal number of time. So first we'll arrange the given data in ascending and descending order and make a tally table. So number in dice are 1 to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many times 1 is there? 7 times. 2 is 6 times. 3 is 5 times, 4 is 4 times, 5 is 11 times, and 6 is 7 times. So the minimum number of time, the number that appear the minimum number time, that is number 4. Clear? The number which appear the maximum number of time, that is number 5. The number that appear equal number of times, that is 1 and 6. Both appeared 7 times. Now one more example, example 3. Given below is the data showing the marks obtained by 30 students of the particular school. So data is given here. First we'll arrange the given data, arrange the above data in ascending order and put the tabular form. Solution arranging above data in the ascending order. So we'll get like this. Now we'll make a frequency table. Here first what we'll do, we'll write the numbers and their tally marks and frequency and make a table. Clear? Example 4. Given below are the ages of 30 students who took part in school competition. So their age is given here. First what we have to do? First we have to arrange the data. We can arrange the data in ascending or descending order. Then we'll make a frequency distribution table like here. Marks, tally marks and frequency. Clear? So like this you'll make a frequency table. Next is learning point 4.1. So you have to practice all these questions. Next is pictograph. Pictograph is the graphical representation of data that use image or symbol. Pictograph means representing an information in the form of picture, that is known as pictograph. So pictograph is a graphical representation of data that uses images and symbol to illustrate information or the number. Each image or the symbol of the pictograph typically represents a certain quantity of item, making it easier to visualize is comparison and trends of data. What are the key features of pictograph? So in pictograph will represent the data in form of pictures. So it's visually appealing. Pictographs are visually engaging and can simply complex data. Next is easy interpretation. Pictograph allow viewer to quickly grasp trend or the comparison. Legends. The legend or the key often accompanies the pictograph explaining what each symbol represents in terms of quantity. Now we'll take an example here. Favorite food survey. Suppose the class survey their favorite food. The result are represented in the pictograph as follow. So the survey is done for favorite fruit in class. The fruit they like apple, bananas, oranges and grapes. And here we have represent the given data in the form of pictures like apples 4 count, banana 3, here's 2 picture, oranges 2, grapes 1. So in this example each apple symbol represent one student. So one picture for one student. Clear? Next is animal count at the zoo. A 700 might be present in the count in different sections using the pictograph. Here the animals elephant, lion, elephant, giraffe and monkeys, their symbol and their count. In this case the lion symbol represents one lion in the zoo. one picture represent for one. Clear? Next, advantage of pictograph. What are the advantage of pictograph? They make data more understandable easily for the younger audience or those less familiar with the numerical data. So, it's visually appealing and appeal the younger audience. They can efficiently convey trends or the comparison at the glance. What are the limitations of pictograph? Pictograph may not accurately represent data if the symbols are misprinted or if the scale is not clear. Like here, in the above example, the scale is given like one picture of apple represent one student. Clear? So, scale should be clearly mentioned. They may oversimplify complex data or trend. Next is drawing a pictograph. Now we will understand how to draw a pictograph. Creating pictograph involves visually representing data using the symbols or image. In pictograph, we use symbols or images to represent the data. Here the step-by-step guide along with an example to help you understand how to draw the pictograph. Next is step-by-step guide to drawing a pictograph. First, collect data. Gather the data you want to represent. For example, let's say we want to show the number of different types of fruits sold in a week. So, first what we have to do? We have to gather the data. Now we have to choose the symbol. Select the symbol to represent each quantity. In your example, we could use the picture of apple, bananas for banana like this. Clear? So, you will choose the symbol and according to given data, you will draw a pictograph. Clear? Next is monthly book sales. The bookstore might a pictograph to show the number of books sold, pictograph to show the month January, February, March and April, how many books are sold during these months. So, symbols are given. Here we have taken the picture of book as a symbol. Here one picture represent one book sold. Clear? Next is, so you have chosen a symbol, now create the pictograph. So, how will you create the pictograph? To create the pictograph, draw the horizontal axis for the fruit type and represent the quantities using the chosen symbol. Example pictograph. Here how the pictograph would look. Fruits sold in the week. Fruits are apple, bananas, oranges and grapes, and according to their given data, according to their quantity and the scale you choose, you will draw the symbol. Each apple represents one apple sold, so there are 4 apples, so we will draw 4 apple symbol. Each banana represents one banana, so total 3 bananas sold, so we will draw 3 banana. Each orange represents one orange and total 2 oranges sold, so you will draw 2 oranges. Each grape represents one grape, so for one grape you will draw one grape symbol. Clear? Next is tips for drawing pictograph. So, the things we have to keep in mind while drawing a pictograph: label clearly. Make sure the label of the fruit indicate what each symbol represents in the key or legend. Consistent scale. If your data has a large range, you might want to use a scale. Each symbol represents 2 items, 4 items like this for the better clarity. Neat representation. Keep your pictograph neat and organized for easy reading. Next, we will take some example here. Example 1. The following pictograph shows the number of books borrowed by the student in the week from library of the middle school, Ginori. So, here the days Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Here the number of book borrowed, one picture is for one book. Now we have to answer some questions. On which day were the minimum number of books borrowed? So, minimum number of books were borrowed on Thursday because there is no book borrowed on Thursday. What was the total number of books borrowed during the week? Total number of books, that is equals to 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0 plus 5 plus 8, total 24 books. On which day were the maximum number of books borrowed? What may be the possible reason? So, maximum number of books were borrowed on Saturday, 8 books. Clear? Because the next day is Sunday, so that is a school holiday, they would have to enjoy the time to read the books. That's why the maximum number of books were borrowed on Saturday. Now we'll take another example. Magan Bhai sells kites at Jamnagar. 6 shopkeepers from nearby villages come to purchase the kites from him. The number of kites he sold, these 6 shopkeepers were given below. So, these are the shopkeeper and number of kites sold by him. Now, we have to prepare a pictograph saying a symbol to represent 100 kites. So, one symbol is for 100 kites. Now, we have to answer some question. How many symbols represent the kites at that Rani purchased? So, Rani purchased 300 kites. So, 1 represents 100 kites, total 300, so 3 symbols. Clear? Who purchased the maximum number of kites? Maximum number of kites was purchased by Poonam Ban. Clear? Next, who purchased more kites? Jasmeet or Chaman? So, Jasmeet purchased 450 kites and Chaman purchased 250. So, obviously Jasmeet. Ruxana says Poonam Ban purchased more than double the number of kites that Rani purchased. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Why? Because the kite purchased by Rani is 300 and the kite purchased by Poonam Ban is 700. So, 700 is the kite purchased by Rani 300. 2 times 600 is more than 2 times. So, that is correct. Next example. The following table shows the daily production of color TV sets in the factory for 7 days. So, here the data given for the color TV produced in 7 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And production, their number is given. We have to represent the given information in the form of pictogram. Here 1 TV represent 100 TV. So, according to given data, we will draw the pictograph. Clear? Note. Here the half will represent 50 TV. 1 full is for 100 and half will be for 50. Clear? Now example 4. The following table is the number of cell phones sold by the shopkeeper during 5 days of week. So here the days are given, number of cell phone are given. Here the scale is 1 cell phone is for 10. Now Monday 40, 1 is for 10, for 40 will make 4. 40 divided by 10, that is 4. So, we will make 4 picture of cell phone. Tuesday 30, 1 is for 10, for 30 we will make 3 pictures. Wednesday 35. So, 3 is for 30 and half picture for 5. Clearly, like this we will draw the pictograph. Now, example 5. The following pictograph show the number of wall clocks sold by the company during the week. Here the scale is 1 clock shows 5 wall clocks. Now look at the pictograph and answer the question given below. How many wall clocks were sold on Tuesday? Tuesday, how many pictures are there? Symbols are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 1 picture represent 5 wall clocks. So 5 will represent 5 into 5, total 25. Clear? How many wall clocks were sold on Friday? Friday 2 into 5, 10. On what day was the sale maximum? The maximum sale was on Thursday. How many clocks were sold during the week? Total number of clocks. So, the total number of wall clock during the week 4 plus 5 plus 3 plus 7 plus 2 plus 1. Here 1 picture represents 5. So, we will multiply it by 5. So, total 110 clocks. Clear? Next is learning point 4.2. So, practice all these questions given in the exercise. You have to practice all these questions. Next we will do bar graph. So, bar graph is another way to represent the data. The bar graph is the visual representation of data using the rectangular bars. the length or height of the bars corresponding to the value they represent, making it easy to consider different categories of data. Bar graph can be vertical or horizontal, are commonly used to display the discrete data. So, bar graph we can draw horizontal bar graph and vertical bar graph. Next is key features of bar graph. What are the key features? Axis. We always take axis, the horizontal axis. This axis, this is the horizontal axis. Clear? The horizontal axis, that is the x-axis, represent the category. The vertical axis, this one. This is the vertical axis. That is the y-axis, represent the value or the frequency of those categories. Next is bars. In bar graph, each bar represents the category and its length for vertical bars or the height for the horizontal bar graph. Clear? Reflect the quantity associated with the category. Next is spacing. So, there are usually space between the bar to emphasize that the categories are the distinct, but the space between the bars are always uniform. The height of the bar graph may be different, but the space between two bar graph will remain constant or the same. Next is example for the bar graph. Data examples. Let's say we want to show the number of pets owned by the group of people. Here are the pets: dog, cat, rabbits and fish, and their numbers are given here. Now we have to draw the bar graph. We will take two axes. On horizontal axis we have taken the pets, name of the pets like dog, cat, rabbit and fish, and here on vertical axis we have taken the numbers. So, we have to choose the suitable scale to draw the bar graph. Now, dogs 5 pet represent by the bar graph to reaches to the 5 on y axis. So, 5 pet, 5 dogs. So, on y axis, corresponding y axis, we will draw the bar. Clear? For the cat 3, so to be here. Clear? 2 rabbits. So, corresponding to y axis, here is 2 and 4 fishes. So, like this we will draw the bar graph. Clear? Next, tip for creating bar graphs. So, first we have to label the axis. Always label your axis clearly to indicate what each represent. So, like here we have labeled the axis like on horizontal axis we have given the names of the pets and here we have taken the numbers. So, always label the axis. Use colors. Different color can be used to different bars or to enhance the visual appeal and make comparison easier. Title. Provide a title for the bar graph. Always provide a title what bar graph want to represent, that explain what the graph represent. Consistent scale. Ensure the scale for the y-axis that is consistent for accurate representation. Next is drawing bar graph. Drawing a bar graph is a straightforward process. Here is a step-by-step guide to help you to create one. First is material needed. To draw bar graph, you need a graph paper or plain paper, pencil, ruler, colored pencil or the marker. That is totally optional. Now, steps to draw the bar graph. First, you have to collect the data. So, first gather the data you want to represent the bar graph. For example, if you want to represent the number of apple, oranges, bananas sold, you might have the number of apple here is 30, oranges 20 and bananas 50. Now, you have to choose a suitable scale. Decide the scale for the vertical axis, that is y-axis. Make sure it accommodate for instant. It is the highest number is 30. You might count like 5. You have take the scale like that would be a gap of 5 like 0, 5, 10, the difference is 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. Clear? Next, draw the axis. So, for drawing the axis, use the ruler to draw the perpendicular lines The vertical line, that is for y-axis, will represent the values, and the horizontal line, that is the x-axis, that will represent the categories. Label the y-axis with the value based on your scale. Label the x-axis with the categories, like here apple, oranges and bananas. Now draw the bars. For each category on the x-axis, draw the rectangular bars that reaches the corresponding value on the y-axis. So you will see the corresponding value in y-axis, and accordingly you will draw the bars. For apple 30, draw the bar that reaches up to 30 marks. For oranges 20, so draw the bar that reaches up to 20 marks. For bananas 15, so draw a bar that reaches up to 15. Ensure that the bar are evenly spaced. So the distance between the bar should be equal and the equal width. Next, color the bars. That is totally optional, but it makes the bar graph visually appealing. You can color each bar graph differently to better visual appeal. Next, add the title. Write the title for the bar graph at the top that describe what the data represent, such as the fruit sold in the week. So give a suitable title. For example, if you follow the step above, your bar graph will visually show the comparison of the fruit sold, making easy to see which fruit had the highest sale. Tips. Here are some tips. Make sure that the graph is clear and easy to read. Always double check your scale to ensure the accuracy, and use the neat lines and label for the professional look. Clear? Now we'll take some example. Example 1. How many total cars pass through the crossing between 6 am and noon? So, on horizontal x-axis time interval is given. Here the numbers of vehicles are given. So, we have to find the total number of cars pass through the crossing between 6 am and noon. So, total car passed, that is equals to 6 am and noon. So, 600 plus 700, 600 plus 700 plus 800 plus 1000 plus 1200 plus 150. Total 4450 cars. Clear? Now, we will take another example. Samantha visited the tea garden and collected the data of insect and created to she saw there. Here is the data she collected. So, she has visited the tea garden and collected this data for the different insects. Here the different insects like mites, caterpillar, beetles, butterflies, grasshopper, and the number is given here. Now we have to help her to prepare the bar graph representing this data. So to draw the bar graph, what we'll do? We'll take two axes. On horizontal axis, we'll take the insect and critters, and vertical axis will take their numbers, and according to given data like 6 mites. So on the y-axis, we'll see 6 is here, and according to given value, corresponding y-axis, we'll draw the bars like this. Clear? Next, example 3. The number cycle produced by the factory in 5 consecutive weeks is given. Construct a graph to represent this information. So here, the number of cycle produced by the factory in 5 consecutive weeks is given here, and the number is given. So we have to draw the bar graph. We'll take a suitable scale. On the horizontal axis, we have taken the weeks, and vertical axis, we have taken the number of cycle, and according to given data, like here, on first week, number of cycle is 600. So we have taken a suitable scale, like here one big division is like 200. So 0, 200, 400, 600 like this, and first week 600. So 600, so we'll draw like this. Second week 800, so 800 is here. So according to given data, we will draw the bars. Clear? One more example. Read the graph and answer the following question based on the bar graph. So we have to read this bar graph and answer some questions. What is the information given by the bar graph? So the graph represents the number of cars sold in 5 cities in 2022. How many cars were sold in Gurugram? So by looking at the bar graph, you can easily tell there are 3000 cars sold in Gurugram. In which city were the maximum number of cars sold? Maximum number of cars were sold in Jaipur. In which city the 5,000 cars were sold? There were 5,000 cars were sold in Delhi. Now we'll take example 5. The following table shows the number 1400 of patients who visited the hospital during particular week. So, in a particular week, number of patients are given here who have visited the hospital Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday as the days, and the number is given. Now we have to draw the bar graph to represent the given information and answer the following question. So, first what we will do, we will take a suitable scale and accordingly we will draw the bar graph. Here horizontal axis we have taken the day and here the number of patient. Now we have to answer some questions. On which day did the least number of patients visited the hospital? So, least number of patients were visited on Tuesday because the height of the bar is minimum here. Clear? How many patients visited on Saturday? On Saturday 140 patients visited. Clear? Saturday 140 patients. On which day did the greatest number of patients visited the hospital? So, maximum number of patients visited on Wednesday, 270. Clear? Next is learning point 4.3. So, you have to practice all the given question. Practice all the question. Next is artistic and aesthetic consideration. When preparing visual presentation like the pictograph or bar graph, artistic and the aesthetic consideration can greatly enhance effectiveness. Here are some key points. First, adjusting to the intended space. Make sure the visual fits well within the intended and display area. Choosing the appropriate scale can help to control the size, ensuring and detailing neither compressed nor excessively spaced out. For instance, using the scale 1 unit per 10 data point might work well in the small display, while larger display may allow for the more detailed scale. So, you have to choose the scale very wisely. Next is visual appeal. A visually appealing design draw attention. So, whenever the thing are visually appealing or beautiful, we got attracted to it. So, to get attracted, the thing should be visually appealing. So, visually appealing design draw attention. So, always if something is visually appealing, it draw our attention and engage viewer. Use colorful shapes, spacing to make the data more attractive. So, to make it visually attractive, we can use colors, we can use different shapes. For example, color coding categories and the bar graph can make it easier for viewer to quickly identify the pattern and relationship. Next is clarity and simplicity. Avoid overloading visuals with excessive details or color that may distract from the main message. Choose the font and label that are easy to read in glance. Simple designs with a clean layout tend to communicate data more effectively, especially an audience is new to the subject. So, clarity and simplicity should be there. Next is consistency, consistent style choices, such as using similar colors, line thickness and font across the multiple graphs and charts help to create the cohesive presentation. This consistency enhance readability and give the entire presentation a polished professional feel. So, consistency should be there. Next is purpose driven design. Tailor the aesthetic and the intended audience and purpose. A presentation aimed at young learners might use bright colors and playful icon. Choose accordingly who is the audience or for whom you are making it. Accordingly, you will choose the theme. While the report, the professional may be use subtle tones and minimalistic design element. Integrating these artistic and aesthetic aspects help to make the data visual not only more engaging but also more effective in conveying information. Next is infographics, making data visually engaging. When data visualizations like bar graph are enhanced with artistic element they transform into infographics. Infographics aim to use the engaging visual to make the data more accessible and memorable, often allow viewer to grasp the information quickly and enjoyably. For example, mountain infographics. So let's consider an infographic based on the tallest mountain on each continent. So first we'll take visual representation. Instead of using simple rectangular bars, we could replace it with the triangle shapes that resemble to mountain. So here what we are doing some changes and make it more visually appealing and more understanding. So here we have taken the triangle and that is resemble to mountains. These substitutions make the visual immediately relatable so that they can relate to the mountain. Here that's why we have taken the triangle, as viewer can associate the shape with the actual look of mountain. Next is color and style. Adding the gradient and color splash the further emphasis for the mountains. For instance, the triangle can be colored and reflect the mountain environment, cool blues for snowy peak, earthy browns for rugged terrain and so on. So we can choose the color accordingly and style it. Next is addition imagery. Small icons such as flag representing each continent can be placed at the base of each mountain, adding both color and information without requiring extra text. Next is annotation and labels. To keep it clear the information, we can label each mountain with its name and height in meter and feet. However, these labels should be unabrasive, allowing the visuals to remain the main focus. By combining artistic element with the data, infographics not only we can attract the attention but also enhance the comprehension, helping the viewer to engage with the information more intuitively. So you have seen, by doing these little changes and keeping these things in mind, we can make the data more interesting, more visually appealing, more infographic, so that it attract the attention of the viewer. Next is summary. Facts, numbers, measurement, observation and descriptions provide information about something are referred to as data. Data can be organized in table, often using tally marks, and simplify analyzing the interpretation. This term referred to count of the occurrence of the specific values, measurement and observation. Pictograph use pictures, symbols and part of symbol to represent the data. Each symbol represents the set of frequency defined by the scale. For example, one symbol could equal to 5 items, which must be clearly specified. Bar graph display the data using the bars of uniform width, each bar's height or the length showing the frequency. The scale for converting the bar size and frequency must also be specified. Choosing an appropriate scale for pictograph and the bar graph is essential for the accurate, clear and visually appealing data representation. Color, symbol and the bar orientation, horizontal or vertical, enhance the graph's clarity, the visual appeal, adding the artistic dimension to the data representation. So here we end the chapter. I hope you understand the chapter well. Now you have to practice this chapter.